Hi, I'm Peter, Courier driver, and this video is on what changes I think we can expect to see in the courier business in 2022. Now, it's based on my own opinions, a little bit of research, and also just being part of it. And just being part of it, you kind of get to know where you think it's going and what's kind of going on. Kind of like learning by osmosis, you know what's going on out there. Before we start, we do a few videos for the Circuit channel now, trying to help you guys. If you like the videos, if you could please hit the subscribe, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up, all goes a long way. So, what do we think can be the major changes this year? Firstly, general deliveries are on the increase. It's partly to do with, well, mainly to do with the coronavirus thing, do with the lockdown. I mean, not just me, I mean experts. I mean, Theo Pathetis, who's on Dragon's Den, that's kind of the UK. If you're watching this in the US, I think you guys get Shark Tank or something like that. But he's a major high street entrepreneur. He runs a firm we've got called Robert Dias. And he said recently in an interview with the BBC, he said basically the whole coronavirus thing has completely changed the way we shop. Now, it was going to happen anyway, because I think as a matter of time, just a matter of course, it's been a downward trend with the high street recently. A lot of people are now, they've got the mobile devices, they've got used to the convenience, they're shopping from home. Even my mother-in-law doesn't go to shops anymore, she actually shops on her phone, like, you know. And so it is in general going to mean an increase in home deliveries full stop. A lot more on your Amazon Relay, a lot more on your Flex. Also, it's going to be an increase in two other major things. Pudus and ooze. They're not the most off-the-tongue acronym in the end, but they don't sort of roll off quite so easy, do they? But you've got a Pudu. A Pudu is a pick-up and drop-off point. So what you're thinking there, this is somewhere where you can drop your parcels off or you can pick them up. So you've got your top, or you're at work all day. So that would be your local shop, your garage, all these kind of places where it's the kind of place you might stop on your way home. And the benefit for these places is the fact that when you're in there, you might also do a little bit of shopping, pick up a loaf of bread, pint of milk, a paper, some ice cream, that kind of thing. So they gain from the point of view of the fact that you're actually shopping with them. You gain from the convenience of the fact that you've got somewhere that you can go where it's been picked up and dropped off. But it does mean it's another point of reference for us drivers where we can go to. It's kind of convenient as well because you're not searching around forever for an address. A lot of the time these places have got parking. They've got to have parking because otherwise they're not going to get any customers. So they're convenient from that point of view. Also, in a similar vein, we've got ooze. Ooze are out of home. So that means they're the kind of filing cabinets that you'll see by petrol stations or tube stations and all that. The idea being that you order something, and on your way home from work, you come out to the tube station, you go, you put your details in, you put your card number in, or you put your PIN number in, open up the drawer, and your package is there. So you can get your stuff, you can get it delivered safely. Again, the advantage from a delivery point of view is the fact that rather than having to go around finding many addresses, it will probably be as part of your route. So you'll do all your individual home addresses, and then you'll have a tube station address or a petrol station address where you might have to drop off 10 packages, maybe also pick up a few packages, which means returns. And when it comes down to returns, it's longer jobs, longer runs, more money. Another big change, particularly with Amazon, there's been a big move over to sustainability. Now, sustainability, basically what that is the fact that it's servicing our needs right now without negatively impacting the needs of future generations. So the idea being, we still get what we need without messing up the future for our kids, which is, we're becoming wise to this kind of stuff, with the environment and all that kind of stuff. Like I say, Amazon is big on this. They're going, you've probably seen them, they're going very big on the electric vans, and they're also going kind of, they're just big in general, One thing I wish I'd like to see more of, they've gone over to cardboard packaging, they're trying to reduce the plastic. Something I personally would like to see more of is more sort of reusable. I hate single-use plastic, and I'm not a big fan. The cardboard's okay, but cardboard is recyclable. What I personally would like to see more is just something a bit more solid state. So, for example, we get a lot of deliveries in here. Like I say, no one goes to the supermarket anymore. No one goes to shops anymore. It all comes in. So, plastic boxes. You could place a deposit or you could buy, and that way they could actually hand you your goods for the day. You give them back the empty plastic box, particularly if there's any returns in. We're a little way off that yet. I don't think that's going to happen in 2022, but that's something I'd like to see as we move towards like the middle of the decade. I'd like to see a little bit more of that happening, but we're kind of okay on that. Which begs the question, so electric vans. Pros and cons for electric vans. They're fine if you're Amazon. They're a multi-million pound organisation. They can buy fleets of vans. For likes of us individual drivers, there's a few problems with the electric vans. The biggest problem is going to be your range anxiety. We're not quite there technology-wise yet. They are now opening stations. They're opening, I think, the first single charge petrol station. I think it happened somewhere in Essex or something like that. And it's like a Tesla station. And they are starting to open just for electric charging now, not just, not petrol stations, just electric charging. They're coming our way, but they're not there yet. The other difficulty you've got is the time it's going to take to charge the van and the distance you'll go. It's absolutely fine if you're Amazon to Amazon, you've got an Amazon van, you plug it in, you go and you do your 30 miles, you go back, you plug it in. In fairness, we have had electric vehicles for a long time. They're very good on the vehicle from the point of view, if you've got to do an awful lot of stop starting, it's not wearing out your keys, your solenoids, your batteries and all that kind of stuff. We've had them since the 1950s. They're called milk floats. Used to charge them and they don't make noise. So you're not, starting your engine, if you're delivering at like 5 o'clock in the morning, you're not upsetting the close because you keep turning the van on and off, they would just start silently. But from our personal point of view, we're not there yet. Should you go and buy an electric van, like I say, the cost is very prohibitive and the charging stations aren't there. So again, it's something that will come, but I believe not in this year. I think it's something the technology we'll have to catch up with. Having said that, another big issue is going to be the environment thing. And the environment thing will definitely hit us this year with like the zones. Now we've already got, we've had the ULEZ in London for a few years now. That's the ultra low emission zone. Also London has now got an LEZ, a low emission zone, which for vans is anything inside the North Circular and lorries pretty much anything inside the 25. And Birmingham, Bath have got them too. They've got CAZ, clean air zones, which means that if you're driving a vehicle which is Euro 5 or below, it charges you to get in. Euro 5 is basically, it's to do with how old your engine is. Your engine will go Euro 1, Euro 2, up to Euro 6. I don't think we're going to get much further than Euro 6 because Euro 6 is about as clean as they can make it without going electric. But it's to do with the amount of particle emissions. Even if you've got the AdBlue and all that, it's to do with the amount of particle emissions that you're pinging out of the van. And in the central zones where they've got a lot of traffic, they're trying to cut it. So like I say, at the moment we've got London, Birmingham and Bath. This year we've got proposed zones for Manchester, Newcastle, Oxford and Bradford. And also in Scotland, we're getting Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen and Dundee, proposed zones. Now, if you're running a van and you're into these kind of areas all the time, you might want to think about, if your engine is a Euro 5 or Euro 4, you might want to think about upgrading the engine, upgrading the van. You won't upgrade the engine, you upgrade the van. It's no point trying to change it over. The problem with this, again, is it's prohibitive. The difference in cost in, say, a second-hand Euro 5 van and a second-hand Euro 6, it can cost you almost double money just to get the engine. So you've got to ask yourself the question, how often am I inside this zone? If I run all day, every day inside the zone, I'm going to have to think about upgrading my motor. If you're only in there occasionally, then you can pay the zone charge. The zone charge, they vary according to zone. I think London's around about £15 for a van. Some of them are like, £9 for cars, £15 for lorries. Are a lot more. I can't be more specific at this point because they're just bringing them in. I know the ones for lorries at the moment, but that won't help you out with vans and stuff like that. But these are things you're going to have to consider. You can go and get the references on the website of the zones when they're coming in, how much they're going to cost, and then you're going to have to you're going to have to make that decision up yourself. Other things that are also on the up, once again, Amazon is very, very big on food. They're increasing the food. They're doing very well with their obviously the parcel side of things with your Flex and with your Relay, but they've bought Whole Foods and they're opening fresh stores. They're hoping to open 260 fresh stores in the next 3 years. Now, fresh stores are walk-in. They're kind of just like normal supermarkets. They're trying to make them a bit more space age. You can log in with your palm print. You can basically pick the goods off the shelf, put them in a bag and walk out. They're geotagged. So they know what that basically says is it works out the position of the cans or what you buy. So as soon as it leaves the store, it marries it up to you. It's technology I don't understand. It's very, very impressive and very straightforward. But you can literally go, grab what you need and leave. But also, in addition to the fresh stores, there's going to be home deliveries. We've already got the Ocado for the Waitrose, and we've got Morrison's, Tesco, Sainsbury's, all these people all offer their own home delivery services. Amazon will be doing their own home delivery service too, which will mean increased work, increased drivers, that kind of stuff. All of these things mean that, but a combination of all this means it's going to be a lot. It's basically delivery is on the increase. It's going to be focused very much on multi-drop. It's going to be focused very much on central. And with this in mind, you want to get yourself prepared, get yourself a decent app. Circuit is very, very good. It will tell you where the parcels are. It will give you the shortest journey. It will save you time and it will save you money. It's very, very good. So in summary, what are we going to expect this year? Well, basically what we're looking for a slow decrease in the high street, which I think is going to go. They're talking about repurposing it, urbanising it. They're turning it into like sort of spaces for people, turning them into flats, turning them into theatres, that kind of stuff. I don't think the high street will die completely, but it will become much more of a sort of a recreational area, whereas a lot of shopping is going to go to your RDCs. RDCs are massively on the increase. Every one of the major players, Aldi's, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Amazon particularly, are putting a lot of money into building RDCs, regional distribution centres, and CFCs. These are central fulfilment centres, and these are the places where you will go to get your stuff to go out and do your multi-drop. So they're very much on the increase. Sustainability is on the increase, which is a good thing, which might possibly in the long term hopefully mean more returns, which is more time, and also environment is big. So you might want to think about whether you have got the right vehicle, you need the right tools for the job. Circuit's a very good tool for the job. I hope this helps. There's been more videos coming up. There'll be plenty of links underneath to other videos. And if you do like the Circuit channel, I do appreciate it if you could give me the thumbs up, give the sub. You know, everyone loves a subscriber. Give us a bell, and I'd like to hear your comments as well, because there's obviously going to be things that I've missed. So if you could like just leave a little comment underneath. We sometimes do a little thing where we can actually reply to your comments, and and it's kind of nice to share. It's always nice to share, isn't it? Really nice to share, nice to work, nice to take care and take money.